Kamen Rider V3 was a massive hit throughout its entire run. So when V3 ended on February 9th, 1974, it's no surprise that Toei would continue the Kamen Rider series with its next entry, Set Up! Set Up! Set Up! Welcome back to my Rider Reviews, where I go over the main entries of the Kamen Rider series. Today I'll be looking at Kamen Rider X, which aired from February to October of 1974. I find Kamen Rider X really interesting as I believe this entry sets up elements that allow Kamen Rider to be the long-lasting series that it is today. I will be taking a look at how I believe Kamen Rider X does this, which means I will be delving into spoilers. But with that out of the way, let's Henshin to it! To begin, let's discuss the hero of the show, Keisuke Jin, played by Yo Hayami. He was the son of Professor Keitaro Jin, played by Jun Tazaki. The two had a rocky relationship, but one day the evil organization God mortally wounded the father and son duo. In his final moments, Keitaro saves his son by turning him into the KingOhger, X-Rider, also known as Kamen Rider X. This is significant because this is the first rider to not have their origin connected to either Shocker or the original riders. Thus, the series begins to expand on who or what is considered to be a Kamen Rider, as well as broaden the stories that can be told. We can see an example of this with X-Rider's belt, the Rydle, which is different than the Typhoon belts before it, as the Rydle can provide a variety of weapons. There was also more of a focus on telling longer overarching stories with espionage influences. However, for as much new stuff X-Rider himself brings to the table, I think the most significant changes and elements Kamen Rider X introduces is with its villains. Just like X-Rider, Government of Darkness, aka God, has no initial connections to Shocker. Although it's still a giant evil organization, they do shake up the dynamic quite a bit outside of their kaijin being based on historical and mythological figures. With Shocker and Destron, you had the Great Leader and 4 commanders under him with equal amounts of authority. With God though, not only was there a progression of hierarchy, the 3 commander type characters we get are, for the most part, more fleshed out as characters. First is Yoko Mizuki, played by Naoko Miyama, who was Keisuke's fiancée before coming out as a God agent. This is an incredibly interesting dynamic that gives Keisuke even more of a personal connection to God, and I won't spoil how it ends. Next is my favorite out of the trio, Apollo Geist, played by Yasuhiko Uchida. He's not a typical commander as he serves as God's secret police and is there to make sure the kaijin are doing their jobs. I think Apollo Geist is the most significant out of the 3 as he also serves as a rival for X-Rider. Finally is the leader of God himself, King Dark, played by Ayao Wada. Personality wise, he's not too different from Great Leader, but what makes him massively different is that he is a giant mech, something a Daikaiju fan like myself can appreciate. While near the end they give the character a suit to stomp around in, most of the time he is portrayed by this wonderfully crafted and gigantic prop. God presents the ideas that the villains of Kamen Rider don't have to follow the same structure as the ones before. These may seem like small changes in hindsight, but without God, Kamen Rider X wouldn't nearly be as fun to watch. The show's weakest aspect is that it quickly falls back to some of the tropes and trappings of the previous 2 series without following through with some of the promising setup. An egregious example of this is with the Jin Station. It was an underwater base established in episode 1 for Keisuke to use, and was presented in a way that this would be a mainstay of the series, only for it to be destroyed literally in the next episode. It's then replaced in episode 3 by Tachibana Tobe's, once again played by Keiji Kobayashi, newly opened coffee shop. Don't get me wrong, I will never be opposed to seeing more pops. But I did find it frustrating how a new idea was quickly discarded. I do suspect that this was a result of behind the scenes issues rather than a narrative choice. This isn't the only time this happens. Kamen Rider X solely shifts back to what the original series was like, with decisions such as introducing its own Rider Girls, Chiko and Mako, played by Chisako Kosaka and Miyuki Hayata respectively. It's not major enough to ruin the experience for me. It is, although disappointing to see, the series fall just short of the potential it presented. Sadly, its storytelling prospects aren't the only thing Kamen Rider X fell short of. The show only lasted for 35 episodes and 2 movies, due to lower ratings. Granted, it wasn't necessarily the series' fault, as around this time, anime was gaining popularity, while Tokusatsu was on the decline. I also suspect that the 1973 oil crisis in Japan played a role in some of the series' shortcomings. However, the series itself still gets some recognition, as X-Rider, King Dark, and Apollo Geist have all appeared in the Kamen Rider series since the show ended in October of '74. And even more recently, a particular God Kaijin piqued people's interest. Unfortunately, at the time of making this, Kamen Rider X has not been officially distributed to the States outside of the first 2 episodes on YouTube. Something you will be hearing me say a lot as I make my way through the series. If you want to watch the show, all I will say is, Google is your friend. Overall, I had a fun time with Kamen Rider X. I just wish it was able to follow through with all of its potential. With that said, thank you for watching, and I hope you join me on the next Rider reviews as we go to the jungle with Amazon! Alright, here's the unscripted outro portion of this video. Once again, thank you for watching the video. Not too much that I have to say right now, other than one, I'm going to be at BotCon from August 24th through the 27th. If you're in the New Jersey area or you're a Transformers fan, I'll be there selling prints and stickers. In regards to the Amazon review, my hope is to have it out in October to line up with Amazon's anniversary. Next month, my hope is to do an Ultra 7 review, and just kind of alternate between Ultraman and Rider reviews for the most part. There might be some occasions where I might do both Kamen Rider and Ultraman review in the same month if I can, but we'll see when it comes to that. I also have plans to do some solo Rider videos. I'm waiting for Geats to end before I do, because I want to get the full context of the story of Geats before I make a video about Geats. Yeah, and that's about it. I'm still working on a comic. I don't know when that's coming out. Hopefully still can do it before fall hits, because I said summer on Twitter. But yeah, that's about it. If you like Kamen Rider and Ultraman, make sure you subscribe. I also want to start doing some other like Tokusatsu videos, or possibly not specifically Tokusatsu videos, but hopefully, the way, I've been going with like trying to shorten these videos down, that can be possible. But yeah, subscribe if you want to see more. I'm almost to 400, so woo! Also, like if you like Kamen Rider, dislike the video if you don't like Tokusatsu for whatever reason, or you just hate my voice. I mean, that last part I won't blame you. I don't really care for my voice either. But tell me in the comments what you think of Kamen Rider X, either as a show or as a character, or, just tell me what you think in the comments down below. And yeah, and that's about it. But most importantly, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care and shoo-watch!